Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. You know, I get a lot of requests for what can I do with the end of my duct tape roll. And I also get a lot of requests for doll-sized things, especially like little note-taking devices, like little books. So I thought I would combine the two and make a mini end of the roll duct tape book. And I'm going to teach you how to make one right now. So for this project, I'm going to be using a stapler. I'm going to be using the end of the roll of duct tape. That's important. I'm going to be using some Scotch brand tape or some clear cellophane tape, scissors, a pen, in this case a ballpoint pen, paper, a work surface, and a ruler. So the first thing you're going to do is decide, okay, what is going to be my book cover. And in this case, I've got a couple options here. These are all from the end of the roll. And what happens is when you get to the end of the roll like this, you pull it off and you get this section that pulls off that has the cardboard on it. Now this is perfect for making your book cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this one right here. And you want to take your ruler and measure it, because not all duct tape is exactly the same size. So I'm going to measure this, and it is pretty close to 1 7/8 inches. So I'm going to call this, for my paper, for inside the book, I'm going to come in a tiny little bit, so I'm going to call it 1 3/4 inches. Now what I'm going to do is take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I'm going to measure 1 3/4 inches and 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to connect the two to make a straight line. Now, I'm going to want to have a lot of pages in my book. So what I'm going to do is continue measuring over 1 3/4 inches. So I'll do it here, here, and again, connect those two dots with a straight line. And I'd continue doing that all the way across my paper till it looked like this. See? 1 3/4 inches, all the way straight across. Now, when you get to the end piece here, you're going to be a little shy. This is going to be probably about 1.5 inches. So put a little X there so you know that this is the extra piece. Now what I'm going to do is take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut right along this line here and all three of the other lines so that I end up with a nice little strip of paper like that. And I'm going to cut all of these out so that I end up with strips of paper that look exactly the same, just like that. Now, it's up to me how big I want my pages of my book to be, meaning how wide do I want them to be. In this case, I think I'm going to focus on making them about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to take my little measuring device here, and I'm going to do this on the edge and mark 1.5 inches. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it up at that 1.5 inch mark. And then I'm going to flip it over and fold it again, using that first piece as my template to make it 1.5 inches. Flip it over again, fold it up 1.5 inches. Flip it over again, fold it over 1.5 inches. Flip it over again, 1.5 inches. And this is going to be our last one. Fold it over, 1.5 inches. Now, you're going to see you have a little extra. That's nothing to worry about. Now, if I was to open this up, you can see that I've got these folds. 1, 2, 3 folds. These are going to become my pages. So what I'm going to do is pinch them at the place where all the folds come together. So I'm going to squeeze them together. And this piece I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to let that come open. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut right along that line, that fold line there. And now I've got whoops, I want to make sure that I get all of those edges. So cut all of the edges. So that fold line was maybe a little teeny bit off, because what I want is I want these pieces to come apart, just like the pages of a book there. And then I want to just take them and put them one inside the other. So I've got 1, 2, 3. That's the beginning of my pages of my book. Now I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take my stapler, and what I'd like to do is have the closed part of the stapler facing out so that I don't have any sharp edges. So line up my edges. Try to get it lined up so that your staple is going to go right in the middle of that fold there, just like a regular book. See that? And there's my pages. That's the beginning of my pages. Now I would do this for all of my pieces of paper so that I end up with a whole bunch of little folded book pieces. And now what I'm going to do is take 2 of these pieces and lay them, so I've got 2 sets here, lay them side by side, and this is where I'm going to use this tape. So I'm going to lay these side by side as tight as I possibly can. Taking my tape, I'm going to place it right along the edge to make the binding. And I'm going to fold that over. Then I open it up, and I'm going to take another piece of tape, and I'm going to use that to seal the center there and fold this over. Now I've got pages for my book. Now I can make as many of these as I want. I've got a couple here. So now I'm going to secure all of these together. And all I have to do is put my edges together and do exactly what I did before. Take my piece of tape, line up those edges, lay the piece of tape down, fold it over both, open it up, and at the center, secure it again with another piece of tape. There we go. And if you have any tape sticking over, just trim that off. And now you're ready for the last step, which is to add, look at those little pages. It's time to add my cover. So here's my cover. I'm going to want to trim this edge here so it's nice and straight. So I'm going to use my pen just to mark it. There we go. Just cut it along this line here. And I want to just take my book, lay it down. I want to inset it just a tiny bit, and then I want to fold this over my pages. And line it up, flip it over so that I can see the back here, and then I'll just mark it so that I can cut straight along that line right there. And now it's just time to secure this into the book. Once again, got my tape, place this in the center, open it up, and I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to do half on, half off, half on the cardboard backer here, half on my front page, and then I'm going to close it, and I'm going to hold it all together and close it. And I want to do that. That's important because I don't want this to slip. Okay, I want to make sure that my pages are going in the exact right spot. And then I just put a piece of tape back here to seal the back and the front, half on, half off. And now my little book is complete. And there you have it, a teeny tiny little duct tape book. Uses the end of the roll, and it's perfect for all those secret tiny notes that you want to write between you and your dolls. For more great ideas that use the end of the roll, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.